Hello, class! Today we're going to have a lesson on DC Universe Classics Wave 7, figure number 2, Kid Flash. Have a look at the packaging here before we open it up. Look at that, 10 bucks. How awesome is that? Anyways, so the package, we can see some of the other figures in the wave here in the background. There's Big Barda. Over here you can't see it too well because of labels, but that's Aquaman. There's Captain Cold. That's Blue Beetle down here. Booster Gold and Flash, and you can't see him, but Kid Flash is behind. Well, Kid Flash. There he is in his package, looking like he's running real fast. Little picture of his face here. And he does come with a piece. There we go. The right arm of it's going to be Atom Smasher, which is pretty cool. Some breathing holes here on the side. And now, who else have we got in here? We've got Ocean Warrior Aquaman. I have a feeling this is just going to be a repaint of the original one. Does that sound about right? Anyways, Kid Flash. We've got here the Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Big Barda, Captain Cold, and of course the Flash. And they all build Atom Smasher. Now a little bit about Kid Flash. This must not be, I guess, the current Kid Flash. But anyways, this is when Wally West gets the powers to become the Flash, following... Oh, he's the nephew of Barry Allen. I didn't know that. Anyways, he gets the same power as the Flash, which lets him run fast. He's been around for a while too, 1960, and his powers is that he can move really quickly and do all the things that the Flash does. I know, it's not much of a description of who he is, but that's okay. Isn't the current Kid Flash Bart Allen? Because he became Flash, and then the Rogues Gallery ganged up and just killed the crap out of him, and then he was resurrected like everybody else in comics and became Kid Flash again? Wasn't he Impulse for... Oh, anyways. So, sorry about that. This is Wally West, as when he was Kid Flash, before he became The Flash, I'm guessing. But anyways, in a couple minutes, what we'll do is we'll open this figure up and we'll have a closer look at Kid Flash. So I'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. We're still looking at Kid Flash. We've got him out of the packaging so we can have a closer look. Just a quick kind of 360 view here. There we go, yep, that's awesome. Now, his color scheme, which I guess would be the classic Kid Flash look, we can see that, you know, his upper torso is all yellow up down to his gauntlets, or his gloves, which we've got the red. Same thing with most of his legs, and his boots are also the same color yellow. And he's got these little winged things on his calves, which are they supposed to be on his calves? Or supposed to be on his ankles? Or is that Namor? Can't remember. And in terms of color also, if we look at his face, there we can see, we've got skin color, which is nice, the yellow mask. His eyes you can't really tell, but to me they look kind of blue. We've got the red kind of wings on the side of his head here. Same thing on the other side, and his head, or sorry, his hair, we've got the orange color, which I guess would be Wally West. Now, in terms of articulation for this figure, you know, it's going to be pretty much similar to most JLU figures, Justice League, sorry, Classics figures. His head goes all around. It doesn't really go up and down too much, and which is odd because usually the figures seem to have heads on ball joints, and maybe this one does, but the head does not go up. Shoulder, that's going to rotate all the way around. Eventually, there we go. Come on, there we go. Move up and down. His arm is going to rotate at the bicep. We can bend the elbow, and then you'll have the rotation at the wrist. Again, we can rotate his waist all the way around, and he does have that forwards and back motion. In terms of the hip, same thing as that double joint, so we can go forward, back, out to the side. We have rotation at the thigh. We've got one joint there for the knee, and then we've got the ankle, which can move forwards and backwards as well. It's not too bad. Now, one thing that I would like to point out about this figure, it seems to be a lot of figures that are red and yellow. I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up. Actually, not too much at all. But there are certain parts, maybe it's supposed to be shading, because it doesn't look as bad as it does with some of them, but the red kind of seems to bleed into the yellow sometimes. Now again, maybe that's the shade to emphasize like his stomach muscles here, or the different muscles in his arms up here. But we got it on the boots as well, where they look almost orange. Again, I don't think the camera's going to show it too well, but trust me, they are. Now the other thing I should point out about this figure is that he looks kind of like a normal DC Universe figure, but, actually, help if I stand him up straight. Because he is Kid Flash, he's, you know, one of them punk teenagers or whatever, he is noticeably shorter than the others. Here we got Blue Beetle, just for an example. And we can see that Kid Flash really only goes up to about his shoulders. So we can see that he is supposed to be, you know, a youth. He's obviously younger than the adult superheroes. We'll get rid of him for now. Get out of here. Now the other thing I'd like to point out is because I don't know if it's because he is so much smaller than other figures, but the plastics feels very, very flimsy. And probably because he's so light, if you just kind of blow on him real hard, he'll probably fall over. I'm a liar. It's very flimsy, especially along the legs. I find you can just see it bend, especially at the joints. Which does make him a little bit harder to stand up. It just feels flimsy, and you know, we don't tend to like the flimsy action figures. Altogether, not too bad. I do like his face. His face does have personality, which is kind of nice. It's not kind of blank. And although in a lot of ways he has the same kind of generic DCU mold, even though it's smaller, the way the figure is, he has, as I said, personality, which is kind of nice. The colors I hate, but that's just the color design of the character, so I am a little bit biased. Now, like all the figures in the wave, he is going to come with a piece of Atom Smasher. And here we have the right arm of Atom Smasher. We can see it bends there. We'll have a closer look at this probably later on, just to give an idea of how big it is, though. Maybe it's not best with Kid Flash, but we can see it's half as big as he is. So it's going to be up here or something. It's going to make Kid Flash look really, really tiny once we have Atom Smasher put together. And we'll look at that more later. But the detail on it is pretty nice. He's got the gaunts. I know almost nothing about Atom Smasher, so we'll look at that more later. But back to Kid Flash. It's Wally West. It's not too bad. If I was going to give this figure a rating, I'd give it a rating, you know, of a B. It's not great. It's a good figure. It just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Largely due to the fact that I just can't stand the color scheme, and the flimsiness of the plastic kind of bothers me. I do like the fact that they made it smaller so that we know that he's, you know, a kid instead of a full-grown adult. And he's got the red hair, which I guess is what one of the things Wally West is known for. At least he did in Justice League, right? The cartoon, because that's really all I know. But anyways, I think that is our lesson on Kid Flash. We'll look at some more figures from this wave, and eventually we will build in Atom Smasher. So please check that out. Otherwise, thank you very much. Class dismissed.